Welcome back. Sorry for the interruption in this. I've been away for a little while, but now I'm picking up this exercise again. So we're starting with a fresh palette. We're still in the drawing process of this painting. So I'm going to mix up a fresh palette, but I'm going to add a few more stronger colors because the areas that I'm going to be painting I want them more well defined. So I'll show you what I'm doing here. First I'm taking some, just a very light, just white, a little flesh tone, a little Naples yellow, and a little raw sienna. Actually I'm gonna throw just a little green in there to cool it off. This is just for a basic light. Too much green, so add some flesh, and that should be alright for right now. It's just a little whitey, pinky kind of a color. That's a light. Now I'm going to mix a little deeper color for a mid-tone. I'm going to use some flesh tone, some raw sienna, a little burnt umber, a little bit more, just a dash of burnt sienna. Now these are not the colors that I'm necessarily going to be using in the final painting. This is the drawing palette for this kind of a painting. So these are just drawing colors. Yeah, that looks a little too brown to me, so I'm gonna redden it up. One color that I threw on here that was new for you was a little cadmium red deep. I kind of like this color. It's very potent and it strong, so it's a good drawing color. Anyway, add a little bit of that in there. I'm going to go a little bit darker, another little darker color. And remember, this is not rocket science here. I'm just mixing up 3 or 4 basic mid-tone, skin tone colors that are not too far away from the final colors, but I'm not even worrying about that now. I'm just mixing up some drawing colors. This one I'm going to make a little bit stronger. A little flesh tone as the base. Little burnt umber, a little more cad red deep. I'm going to throw a little green in there, Viridian. I always keep that in ultramarine blue on my palette for these portraits. Alright. Now the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a real dark. I'm going to take some black. And for those of you who understand that black should be a color never used in portraiture, well, I don't know if that's true or not, but I use it all the time. And this is for just a real deep, dark black, which I rarely use it by itself, but in this case, I add some cad red deep to it. Alright, okay, that should just about do it for what I'm about to do now. Okay, we're going to try it a little bit differently this time. Jeannie's going to try and show the palette and where I'm dipping, so you can see how quickly and where I dip into colors. Now, like I say, I've put these 3 or 4 colors on the palette, and they don't really mean anything except that they're the base tones. And now, as I look at my image in the mirror here, I see a little more red or a little more green or whatever. Then I'll just dip into those colors as needed. It's not terribly important right now at this stage of the painting. The real thing that's really vitally important now, and what I'm going to be concentrating on, is making sure that my measurements are right, that I'm seeing things properly. And so I'm going to really try and finalize this drawing. You don't ever want to proceed ahead of yourself in these sorts of paintings. With portraiture, things have got to be right, and if they're not right, it becomes apparent, and if it's not right, you don't have a good picture at the end. So I'm concentrating on the drawings. I have it in a place right now where you know, I feel fairly comfortable with it, although it's at that funny looking kind of stage, but I know the difference. I know what it will look like. So I'm going to finalize the measurements in the eyes, because they're they're in the right place, but they're not the right shape or anything yet. I'm going to make sure that these measurements over here in the temple area are good. I'm still not sure yet about the size of this headpiece. Still looks a little bit big to me, but I can't really finalize that now. That's why I didn't take it very far. You know, a color that I'm going to add on here, because I'm going to want to go into it, my white hair, I'm going to want to put some underpainting for that today. So I'm going to mix up just a sort of a gray, yellowy, gray kind of color for that area. So I mix some white and a little Naples yellow, a little black, and I just sort of have a gray. One might think I should be a little bit more formula-oriented here and have some specifics, but I have no specifics whatsoever. I just know what it looks like, what the color I'm looking for looks like. And so I try to approach what's in the color in my mind. Okay, here we go. So now I'm going to define the eye area. So as you can see, I'm dipping back and forth to this darker thing, this darker color, darker base color, and the blacky color that I made, because I'm going to define these lines, which are very important right at first. Whenever you're looking at a portrait or anything, whenever you're looking at anything and you're trying to understand what it looks like, what you're really trying to do is to identify at this early stage what are the obvious contrasting areas. What are the dark darks and what are the light lights? Those are the things that you're looking for. And where are those things in relationship to the whole picture? So I started to define this upper eye area, the eyelid. It's very important. And then on the bridge of my nose, right in here, that's very well defined. As you get older, like me, I'm an old man, those things become more well defined. So I'm defining those. And again, I'm going back to those same colors. They feel pretty comfortable. I might add a little bit more red at this area. I don't want to get it too black or anything. So I keep red. Red helps there. Okay, now so I've defined the two upper eyelids. Now I'm going to paint I'm going to draw, I should say. Where's that brush? with my little Winsor Newton Series 7